it's odd to think about it now, but you and Tina, you're this wave of women that came along, and I think it's easy for people to take it for granted now. But you and Rachel and a bunch of other women, yes, there were women before you, and I know you have your idols are like Gilda Radner, Lucille Ball, Catherine O'Hara, who I sat next to at the 50th anniversary, and I couldn't. Cool. I mean, I see her from time to time, and I love Catherine O'Hara, and sometimes she's very earnest. So when the show was about to start, and Paul Simon came up, and I get the microphone, and Sabrina Carpenter came up, and she's at her microphone, and they're both ready to go, and she went, "Oh, this is Paul Simon. This is going to be good." And I said, "Well, we'll see." And she looked at me and she was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, these things come and go. You never know with Paul. He's always great. Yeah. But she was like, "Fuck you, he's always great." And this is like I'm picking a fight with Catherine O'Hara before they're calling out 3, 2, 1.
My fun name drop of that weekend, which was really fun, was everyone, there were so many people that people just shared dressing rooms. And so I was sharing my dressing room with Meryl Streep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. And I'm like, just like a fan, I took a picture of the door that said my name and Meryl Streep. And it was really cool. And she was, getting ready for her sketch and really rehearsing it. And I remember thinking, I never rehearsed as hard as Meryl Streep has. This one moment.
She's taking this very
don't overthink
seriously.
it. Don't overthink it.
It's vaudeville.
Be loud. That's what
vaudeville.
I wanted to say. Just be loud. Yes. And then in the seats, which, was a night of all famous, alumni and people, I sat down and I turned to my left and it was Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
And I was like, of course, my old friend, my dear friend, Jack Nicholson.
I think when those things happen, I just go with it.
Yeah.
I just say, of course, Jack Nicholson's here.
Of course. I mean, you have to fake it.
Of course, my comedy heroes are here.
Yes.
Letterman sat like 3 rows down from me, and I went over and said hi and was struck by his beard. I mean, literally,
it's incredible.
It hit me. He turned, and I was slapped by his beard.
I feel like that's what success is being able to perform at an event in front of your comedy heroes and, give like a B- performance and not want to die. That's success.
Yes.
It is, because it's happened so many times in my life now where I've had to do the AFI tribute or something in front of Steve Martin, and I walk away and go, well, that was a B-.
You might be being a little hard on yourself.
Nope. I could think of hard B-minuses.
Okay. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. I don't.
You did call me up.
I don't.
You can't call me up.
I called you up and I said
gave me that grade.
I said B-. That was like a C+. So you met Tina at Improv Olympics in Chicago, 1993. What made you know that you two were going to be like sort of peanut butter and jelly?
Sharna Halpern, who was this woman running that theater at the time, said to both of us, "Oh, I know a woman that you would like." And she just put us on an improv team together. And I knew Tina was from Philly, and I knew she had written a really funny play about Catherine the Great and her intimate relationship with her horse. And I knew she was really smart and funny, but when we met, we just we don't actually, we were on the road doing a show, and we kind of talk about how we don't actually remember the exact moment we met, because we didn't know we'd be married for so long and so in love. But we just got put in an improv team, and we just instantly, and I think this is the case today, just worked together so well. Like we like to work the same way, which when you work with people, there's a language that you have and how you like to work, and you either kind of have it or you don't. And if you do have it, it's the best.
On Update, and anytime I've seen you two together, you always have A+ jokes. You have great jokes, great delivery. And some people think, what's the trick? It's like, yes, have good delivery is really important. And sometimes you need to have a saver, but have the stuff. And you two always have really good stuff.
Because I think I feel like I've given you credit for this. So tell me if you've said this.
Yes,
but
I did it.
You did. But we talk about this, and you saying this a lot, which is, as when you're doing comedy, you have to have good jokes all the time and new jokes all the time. And then you see musicians go up and sing their song, and you're like, man, if I could just go up and sing a hit over and over again. I had
this experience, which is, I was in, I want to say, Phoenix, Arizona, and I had to do something for an affiliate, so I'm there. And I go in, and of course, I don't have Phoenix, Arizona affiliate material in my back pocket. I have to bother my writers. I have to think myself what stuff I can say, what's going on, find out what the local references are, and construct the whole thing from scratch. And I get to, before we get started, I go down to the lobby and I see Sting is there, and he's just got a guitar on his back in a leather case.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, it's going all right. And I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing a benefit. And I said, I'm doing a benefit too. I'm doing something and I've been working. I said, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to play Roxanne.
Oh.
And I'm going to play every step. And he's not even thinking about it.
No.
He's not even thinking about it. And everyone's delighted.
Yes, that's what they want.
Yeah, no one's, I was at an event with you. I remember this really well. It was an event with you at the Museum of Natural History. And I don't know if I was performing or what, but then the music came out and it was Jon Bon Jovi. And he did Cowboy on a Steel Horse.
Incredible.
You jumped up, you lost your mind, and you were screaming all of the lyrics, which was great. And then I look over, and Jon Bon Jovi's wife is doing it.
What?
Yeah, she's there too, and she's like, yeah, I love this. And I'm thinking,
well, that's just Stockholm syndrome.
That's a good marriage.
That is a good marriage. Their marriage has lasted all these years. Dorothea, I know everything about her.
Yeah, she's very cool.
Yes, Dorothea. Yes, well aware of Dorothea. Looked her up all the time. Jon Bon Jovi.
She's very cool. High school sweetheart.
So cool. Yes, high
I think
school
she
sweetheart.
might need to worry. Are you coming after her?
I mean, Dorothea has seen probably a lot more threatening people throwing themselves at John than me.
Yeah.
But their marriage is strong. I believe it is.
Yeah.
And I love Jon Bon Jovi.
Oh,
I went to Bon Jovi when I was in high school. I even wrote a sketch about it at SNL where when he hosted, Jon Bon Jovi came out of the poster in my childhood bedroom.
Great.
And I dressed up like I looked when I was 13. And Jon Bon Jovi, the musician, went into his storage and wore the same outfit that was on the poster still fit. So he keeps it really tight.
Like
and
how he
that's why
said
Dorothea is still interested.
I like how he went into his storage. No, he had it in his closet.
Yeah, he had his
wears
wearing
storage.
it that day.
Yeah, he has all of his poster clothes in his closet right off his bedroom.
Well, I would say in response to you saying about good jokes, I think you and I could probably say that we both came up at a time when the writer was king and writers were really important at SNL and they were really important on your show. And not only do I, like some of them are here in the building and I work with some of them forever, but they were also writer performers and you had a bunch of them on the show and same at SNL. Like it just was, you just can't go in with flimsy material. You have to just keep trying jokes, which I'm sure you're getting ready to do for the Oscars and everything, like over and over again.
No, I haven't started yet.
Oh, good.
It's days away, and I just figured, this will write itself.
Yeah, you have to wait and see, though.
Yeah, do it in the parking lot on the way in. But that's all Lorne. Lorne Michaels, and it's not everywhere. There used to be this era for a long time. Writers were kept like rats in this back room. And I had a really good first job in LA at not necessarily the news, but we weren't part of the production. We didn't really interact with the crew. We were in a room, Greg Daniels and I were in a room with Billy Kimball, and we just had desks that faced each other like accountants, and we just banged out sketches all day long, sight gags, whatever. And then at the end of the day, we'd submit them and go home. But that was, and I remember thinking, this is not the show business I wanted to be in. I want to be backstage. I want to see showgirls, people in horse costumes, people dressed, as a knight. I want all that craziness. And get to SNL, and Lorne, it didn't matter if you were like me, 23, 24 years old. He'd just say, all right, what have you got? What's your name? Conan. Okay, and let's hear your idea. And you tell the idea. Okay, go pitch it to Steve Martin. Me? Or go pitch it to comedy, pick any comedy icon. And I remember thinking, you're allowing me to go into a room alone with this person? I could have why do have you done a background check on me?
Yeah, finish that sentence.
I know, you would have a what?
A knife?
Well, I mean, if it was, I carried a knife back
you
then.
Always bring, you always were flashing your knife.
It's a Brookline
you were
thing.
Spinning your knife.
Yeah,
Brookline
thing.
knife.
You're a knife guy.
And I just it was one of those ones that flips out and flips back, and I was always around, and I remember a lot of people, Norm was like, can you not do that?
But it's Brookline, so it's a cheese knife. It's for cutting cheese
for
and
brie.
having
For
parties
brie.
and stuff. Yeah.
Look at this. And then nice
and a
for
beautiful
you and for you.
slice of a brie. Yeah.